What's up there, YouTube? Kenny here, also known as SilentFan85. How do you do? Been a long time. So welcome to a serious mode. This serious mode, I'm going to talk about something fairly close to home, something fairly new in my life. Well, new, knowing what's going on, kind of thing. Here's the deal. For 12, 13 years, close to there. There have been certain things that have happened in my life situationally that I never really noticed before. And when you're living it, you don't notice it. But outside sources have kind of made me aware of it over the years. But here's the thing: I have repeated behaviors that I never really took account for because obviously I live through those behaviors. I do them pretty much every day. For example, when I am getting dressed, and it calls for the occasion of my shirt being tucked in or wearing clothes, I have to wear the same clothes from time to time. It comes and goes. But it's not one of those normal things where a guy just wears whatever's on the floor. You might notice throughout my videos throughout the years that you've caught me wearing the same t-shirt or same pants or same hat. This is situational behavior for me. This is stuff that helps me feel comforted. When it comes to, like I mentioned earlier, tucking in my shirt. Let's say I go to the bathroom, do my business, and I'm at work, and I have to have my shirt tucked in to look nice, to look presentable. Well, I have to do it in a certain manner. I have to tuck my shirt in a certain manner. There can't be any rumples. There can't be anything popping out that I can, like feel through my jeans. And I know what y'all are thinking. Stop it. It's not what I meant. Giggity. I mean, like, there can't be any wrinkles in the shirt, or it's got to be smooth. It can't be like pulling up at least a little bit. It's got to be good and solid. I've got to make sure that my jeans are staying on me firmly, that they're not falling down as I walk. They've got to be the right size. They've got to be essentially staying up and not falling and showing any part of my shirt or anything. They've got to stay on my hips. And sometimes I will tighten my belt so tight that it hurts. But I deal with it because I know my pants will stay up. Again, situational stuff. Well, for the last year or two, I've been struggling even more with this. It's gotten worse. I've even had a couple episodes to where there was a certain process not done, mainly at work, and that compounded with stress at work. There was certain situations to where mentally a certain process, I didn't go through a certain process and it threw me off, and I got so confused and so overwhelmed, I didn't know what to do, and I broke down. I cried. I got very emotional. I've had to go home a couple of times. Well, that happened the other day. It's the reason I took a couple of days off, is because after episodes like that, for about 24 to 48 hours, I am still very ruffled. My jimmies are ruffled. So anyway, been going through different things for this. I've been through counseling. I had been to one doctor and tried some treatment. Nothing really helped. But my new doctor has finally given me some light. It's still being worked on, but I have been diagnosed with chronic obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, the few things I just listed are just a few things that I know of. I'm thinking back in my life. I'm thinking of my situations to where what has to be done in order for me not to stress about it, or for me to be triggered. And I've also been diagnosed with situational stress with anxiety, status active. I was diagnosed not 2 days ago. So with that, there are other things as well, especially like involved with gaming. Now with me streaming, I've developed a new habit to where I cannot play a game if I'm streaming that game for y'all in episodes. For example, let's say I start another playthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn, right, on stream. Well, we stop it at one point, and then we're going to pick it up the next stream. I can't play in between at all. Not even starting a new game. I can't do it. It's just one of those behaviors, and it's something new and acquired. And for another example, and I know many gamers do the same thing. When you're playing a game, you want to finish it. You have to finish it. Other stuff in life, be damned. Your tunnel vision. You've got to beat it, or you've got to make it to a certain point. And if you don't, it sucks. For me, it's a little more hardcore because it puts me into a state of mind where I become very upset and very withdrawn. It makes me seem like a spoiled child. But I think it's just unfortunately a part of my condition. I've listed this stuff to the doctor, and there's, even within my office, there's certain things that have to be in a certain order. When I come home, if anything's in disarray, it puts me into a state of mind of just like, I've got to clean it up. I have to clean it up. And there's also certain parts where it just goes pure mental. Depending on the environment of the situation, I will focus on negative things that could happen. That compulsion, and then I become obsessed with it. I become obsessed with the ideas playing over and over in my head. Something's going to happen. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't cope. I can't adapt. So on and so forth. And it keeps replaying and replaying and replaying and replaying. An additional situational stress on that compounds it. And that's right at the point where I break down, where I feel myself. It's kind of like an outer body experience. I see what's happening, but I can't stop it. I cannot stop it. And it's very hard for people to understand that, because a lot of people, they don't believe in the diagnosis. They don't believe in the medical. Some people, not a lot of people. They don't believe that it's nothing we can't overcome. And while I agree to an extent, at the same time, it's a disorder for a reason. It affects my life in a very negative way, and I'm very glad to have a diagnosis of that now. For a while, I was seeking a diagnosis of autism, higher end autism, because reading up on that, it fit some of these behaviors. There's a couple other things that I'm still looking at that I've presented to the doctor, and we're gonna research it over time, because it takes time for something like this. But with the episodes the last couple of years and everything, and the way my life goes on a daily basis, OCD fits well, I think. Another example is working on a project. For example, the overlays here on the channel, the art here on the channel. Whenever I start something like that, I have to finish it. I have to. When I know that, because I enjoy doing it so much, that feeds into it. I know that sounds bad, but because I do enjoy making the art, whenever I start that, I try to watch myself to when I start stuff like that, because I will get obsessed with finishing it. I have to. I can't sleep unless I do. Yeah, it's that bad. That's the OCD kicking in. Whenever something affects your sleep or affects your job or your daily life, that's when things enter that arena. Anyway, they've put me on some medication to help. Something that I'm going to take daily. They've also given me an emergency drug to take. Another thing that compounds with it is my psoriasis. For those that don't know, I have psoriasis, very bad psoriasis, and seborrheic dermatitis. I know what you're probably thinking. I was like, man, damn, dude, is there nothing that's not wrong with you? It's just my life, man. But how does psoriasis feed into my OCD? With psoriasis, you shed. I shed daily. Small skin particles. It looks like dandruff. Falls from my beard, falls from my hair. And I'm always catching myself dusting like this. Just dusting off. Even when there's nothing there. I have to, especially around my neck. It'll get around there. And that's kind of a tick. It's become a tick. So, that's something that's fed into it. And the reason I talk about this is because I'm not going to get political in all this, but people go through stuff like this every day that goes undiagnosed, and they live their life thinking they're different. They're weird. They're strange. They're awkward, off-putting. And they have no idea why. They just know, they feel that something's wrong. And sometimes there is a medical reason for it. There's something going undiagnosed. So what I would say is to get checked out. Do what you can when you can. I know a lot of people can't afford certain things, but I would definitely say do what you can to help yourself. Get it looked at. The reason I'm getting so diagnosed late in life is because I never went to the doctor, because I could never afford it. I never had insurance up until now, and that I'm already in debt as it is, and I didn't want to add to that. But somewhere along the line, even if you don't have insurance, even if you end up in debt, your health is more important than anything, especially mental health, the thing that affects your everyday life. It affects the way you process events every day, the way you process life, the way you process stuff at night when you're asleep. It affects your relationships, your interactions with people and friends. And again, I'm trying very hard to stay away from the politics of this because I'm very passionate. I can be very empowered and passionate about certain stuff, but I will just leave it at that. I will say, even if you feel you can't afford it, find a way. Try to find a free clinic or something that might, help you provide certain services, so on and so forth. And you may even look into and research different things that you think may fit your way of life for stuff that you cannot control mentally. And maybe see what you can do to take steps on your own to help prevent that. When it comes to like OCD, avoid triggers. Avoid being in certain events and doing certain things that might contribute to you going into an episode. It's not easy, but we carry on, don't we? You always got to carry on. So anyway, with that, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. And just remember, everybody is a person, and all people have their lives to live. So for now, you're awesome. Never throw it to you otherwise. I'll see you later.